An era of the NBA just ended. Every era in the NBA has its defining feature. The 80s had the rivalry of the Celtics and Lakers. The 90s had the dynasty of the Chicago Bulls. The 2000s was the emergence of the super team era. Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, creating the Big Three in Boston, followed by LeBron, Bosh, and Wade joining together in Miami. This stuck around in the 2010s with Durant, Thompson, and Curry, creating an even better Warrior championship team. But something's changing, and it's happening right now, and most people don't really know about it.
I think it's a new blueprint for the league, man.
The way teams are built has already flipped upside down, and the Boston Celtics are the perfect case study for why.
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible.
After years of knocking on the door, the Celtics finally broke through. A young, homegrown core with depth at every position. A roster that on paper could dominate for years. They were built differently than most modern champions. Not through splashy free agent signings, stars forcing trades which happened every offseason, but through patience and development. They did have to go through some trades to find their point guard. I mean, flipping Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie, and then Kyrie for ultimately Kemba, and then flipping again until they landed on Jrue Holiday. But every move maintained the long game, stacking assets, drafting well, and striking at the right moment. But championships bring expectation, and stars want to get paid. But keeping this team together, that was about to be a bigger challenge than even winning that championship. Jason Tatum's next extension made him the highest paid player in NBA history at the time. And do you know who he surpassed? Jaylen Brown, his teammate. Kristaps Porzingis makes nearly $30 million a year. Jrue Holiday, over $33 million. Derek White just signed for over $125 million. Add all that up, and the Celtics are looking at a payroll that's not just expensive, it's historically expensive. We're talking well over $200 million before you even add in the tax penalties. In the past, teams could write that check and move on. The Lakers did it, the Warriors did it, the Nets did it. If ownership was willing to bleed money, you could build a super team, and you can keep them together. But the Celtics are entering territory no team in history has had to face. Something that might make the super team as we know it impossible. The NBA has always had ways to keep spending in check. The salary cap in the 80s, the luxury tax in the 2000s, the repeater tax in 2010s. But owners found ways around it. Nearly a third of the league was over the luxury tax last season. Pay the tax, sign the players, keep moving. The Celtics, though, are the first champion stepping into a new era. An era where the rules don't just cost you money, they physically stop you from building the roster you want. It's all because of a new rule in the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. The first and second apron. The second apron is roughly $19 million above the luxury tax threshold. And crossing it isn't just expensive. It's basically a roster-building prison. There's no mid-level exception if your team hits the second apron. That's usually the tool your favorite team uses to sign a $10 million bench piece. The exact kind of depth that can win a playoff series. There's also no aggregating salaries in trades, meaning you can't package two role players to get a higher paid player. This is how Kevin Durant joined the Phoenix Suns from the Brooklyn Nets. And if you stay over the second apron for too long, your first round picks get frozen and pushed all the way to the end of the draft. Imagine working all season, earning a top pick, and it's automatically dropped to 30th. Brutal. There's also no sign and trades for incoming players, no cash in trades, and you can't even sign buyout players making more than the minimum. Every door, every escape hatch that GMs used to rely on, slammed shut. For the casual fan who wonders why would the Celtics trade Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and get rid of Al Horford after a championship season? Well, it's clear with what I just told you.
I mean, the second apron's why those trades happen. I think that those are pretty obvious. And the basketball penalties associated with those are real.
And Boston's not alone. The Cleveland Cavaliers right now are $19 million over the second apron. Cleveland needs to ensure it can make a run at the NBA Finals this season, or it will waste almost $400 million. They are paying more than $118 million more than any other team in the NBA. Other teams such as the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks are quickly approaching second apron territory. What we'll see moving forward is one of two approaches. The first is the exact approach by the Cleveland Cavaliers, paying over the second apron during windows of opportunity in which they can win a championship. They will face extremely harsh penalties, paying nearly 40% of all their payroll in just tax penalties. But when they face the harshest of penalties in the upcoming years, you'll see drastic fire sale moves trying to offload salaries. The second approach is adding depth. The days of 3 mega contracts surrounded by league minimum contracts are over. Now you'll see 2 highly paid players surrounded by a legit supporting cast of mid-level salary players. Take the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam are the clear stars, but supported by Andrew Nembhard, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, and Aaron Nesmith. All quality starters and role players making between 10 and 20 million last season. That balance lets them compete without being trapped by the second apron. That puts a premium on the scouting, player development, and front office creativity by a team. For example, the Pacers found Andrew Nembhard late in the first round, and then found an underrated Obi Toppin from the New York Knicks. They also found Aaron Nesmith, who barely played for the Celtics. These are the new moves that separate contenders from pretenders in the new NBA. More than ever before are the front office folks as important as the stars on the court, the scouts that find the next underrated 6th Man of the Year candidate, and the coaches that turn undrafted free agents into playoff starters. Finally, the GMs that know when to pay and when to walk away from a player. Because in this new NBA economy, depth isn't optional, it's survival.